Working to preserve this treasure we call Oregon takes thousands of dedicated volunteers. Hi, I'm Jack McGowan, and this is just one of the sites that volunteers are needed to help clean up and restore throughout Washington County. Come on out and celebrate our community by being part of this volunteer spirit. Join the Intel Solve Clean and Green Project on Saturday, September 14th from 9 to 1. Call Solve or log on to solve.org to find out about site locations. So volunteer now and be a part of this important project.
Gresham Subaru always gives you the best deal. And right now they're offering you their best deal ever. This week at Gresham Subaru, you can buy for $0 down and make 0 payments for 90 days. Plus, get 0 interest for 60 months on every new 2002 Subaru in stock, including 2002 Outbacks and Foresters. Plus, you get to keep any applicable rebate. And remember, they'll pay off any trade. Off ID4, take the Wood Village exit south to Gresham Subaru at 1925 East Powell in Gresham.
Hey, Jared, you eat chicken a lot?
Yeah. Does it get boring?
No, it's always exciting at Subway. You try the new spicy salsa chicken with jalapenos.
That's real fat.
Yeah. How about turkey? Try it with new tangy berry vinaigrette.
That's real fat too?
Uh-huh.
What about roast beef?
Ham.
Veggie delight.
Oh, let's just all go to Subway. Come on.
Subway's low-fat sandwiches just got tastier with great new sauces, like the spicy salsa chicken with jalapenos and corn and black bean salsa, and the turkey with berry vinaigrette.
Subway, beef fresh.
A follow-up with World Trade Center survivor Lauren Manning. Please welcome Lauren Manning! Next week.
Today at 4 on News Channel 8.
Right now, on a special edition of Access Hollywood,
It's very hard even now, still a year later, to put it in any kind of, package.
the 1-year anniversary of 9/11 is just days away.
I remember when the first Twin Tower began coming down.
I was just really in shock.
And she went,
Oh, my God.
and I saw the explosion.
And from that day forward, the shockwaves which rippled through Broadway, television, and the film industry.
I can't do it.
But how much is too much when it comes to the coverage? The controversy over re-airing the graphic images from that horrific day.
We began to work on it a long time ago, so we are extremely well prepared.
Then a filmmaker, a journalist, a musician. In their own words, 3 Americans, 3 perspectives.
We should look at it as the 21st century day of infamy. And now how do we prevent this from ever happening again?
America remembers and Hollywood responds. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the special edition of Access Hollywood. I'm Sean Robinson.
Hi, Sean. Hi, everybody. I'm Pat O'Brien. September 11th is a day that we will forever have in our minds. The devastation and the destruction were felt worldwide as the nation comes together this weekend to honor and pay tribute on the forthcoming anniversary of 9/11. We look at the impact and the force which one day of terror has left on our lives and how it's changed everything.
It's bigger than any of us. So it's very hard even now, still a year later, to kind of put it in any kind of, package.
This is my view, and what my view always has is little airplanes that fly past the window, and they're little tiny airplanes sometimes. You can imagine the size of that GE building turning on its side and flying past. That's the size that the airplane was that day. So you know immediately something is up. I have got to interrupt you right now.
Sorry.
You know, I had been doing an interview on Howard Hughes, on a book on Howard Hughes, and they said in my ear, they don't talk in my ear very often, so when they do, it means something's happened.
We are back at 9 o'clock Eastern time on this Tuesday morning, and we're back with dramatic pictures.
A plane apparently has crashed. Details at this hour very sketchy.
Unconfirmed reports of a plane into the World Trade Center.
The first thing I thought was that it was some kind of a terrible accident. Couldn't figure it out because it was clear blue skies, and I thought it was a small plane.
We actually saw it from JFK. The pilot said there's been a terrible accident in New York, and those of you on the right-hand side of the airplane will be able to see it.
I hadn't heard anything or seen anything. I just turned on the television, and I turned it on, and the first tower had been struck by the first plane, and the tower was on fire, and I saw the actual second tower being hit by the plane live, and I was just stunned.
And there's more explosions right now. Hold on, people running up the street.
It was unbelievable seeing the second jet come crashing into the second tower. What is going on?
And I saw the explosion, and I grabbed my pen, and I wrote, looked at Katie, and I wrote, pure terrorism.
I had a window that specifically faced the World Trade Center. And I got to see something the likes of which hopefully we'll never see again.
It was unfathomable. I could not take it all in. It did not look real. It just didn't look real.
Mayor, what's the situation right now?
The situation is that two airplanes have attacked apparently.
I was just really in shock. I mean, I just felt like I was watching, you know, some kind of bad movie. But I was very fearful because I think, especially in Lower Manhattan that morning, you just didn't know where it was going to stop.
The sky was just like papered with paper. It was just covered with paper. You know, then I would try to find out, you know, who, you know, or might, you know, if anyone got, you know. I did know a few people who didn't make it out.
Today, we've had a national tragedy. Terrorism against our nation will not stand. May God bless the victims, their families, and America. Thank you very much.
Katie, I don't want to alarm anybody right now, but it felt just a few moments ago like there was an explosion of some kind here at the Pentagon. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There is smoke pouring out of the Pentagon.
And I looked at the explosion, the area of the explosion was where the Pentagon is, and you could see a black cloud. But what was so bizarre was that black cloud was glittering. It was a sunny day. And what I've surmised since then is that the reason there was this bizarre glitter in this ominous cloud was because the skin of the airplane, the smallest pieces, had gone up in that explosion, and the sunlight was catching it.
And a camera guy over here had tears in his eyes, and we were all thinking, what's next?
Oh my God! Oh my God! Oh my God!
We're not sure exactly what happened, but there was another explosion on the far side of one of the buildings.
I remember when the first Twin Tower began coming down, I said to myself, well, first this can't be, then, well, the whole building won't come down. But within seconds, it was obvious the whole building was coming down, and yeah,
One of those Twin Towers vanished, disappeared into the streets below.
Honestly, I just want to let you know I love you, and I'm sorry that I'm filming from New York.
Cell phone conversations between people trapped in the World Trade Center to their loved ones at home, leaving just heart-wrenching messages to their children, to their families.
You'll get the fire, I swear. I love you, too. I love you. I don't know if I'm going to be okay, but I love you so much.
It's hard to describe a tremendous sinking feeling as a person. Then quickly you say, as a reporter, can't think about that, got to get zoned on the story. That happened September 11th. The word of the day is steady. Steady.
Just look at that. That is about as frightening a scene as you will ever see.
I mean, the country, my country, was under attack, and that this was not going to be news, but this was going to be history, and that whatever else I did that day, I needed to be calm.
And there, as you can see, perhaps the second tower, the front tower, the top portion of which is collapsing. Good Lord.
I mean, who could have imagined not one but both of the Twin Towers collapsing? And what we had hoped and prayed would not happen, could not happen, has happened. There are no words that can describe this.
I watched the first building come down as I was running towards it, and I watched the second building come down as I was under it.
We had to break through the glass and get into the second door to breathe.
I can't really explain it, but everybody who was underneath the building and was enveloped with that violent debris cloud tends to have the same story. We were in awe, then we were in fear, and then we thought we were going to die, and it all happened within 30 seconds.
You can see what it looked like finally. Into that plume of smoke, that was where those World Trade Centers once stood.
What's the assignment right now for you? What are you trying to do at this moment?
We're trying to get back in there and make sure all the cops, the firemen, and the civilians are out of there.
I saw cars screaming up covered in disaster. I live, near a hospital where tons of people were. It was unbelievable.
These are professionals. They're coming out of there looking literally stunned.
What I remember is just not being able to breathe. I remember the ash. I remember people crying. A man coming up to me with a photograph of his brother, asking me to help him find his brother.
We had 9 up down.
When those towers came down, my children, my 7- and 9-year-old daughters, lost 15 parents in their elementary school. 15 parents. Another plane had crashed, this one about 80 miles south of Pittsburgh.
He said, "You ready? Okay, let's roll." That courage of every person that was on that plane, everybody who knew what was going down, who knew what had happened before, that's enormous courage.
Oh my God. Look behind us. Please stand in this way. Please be careful of your baby. This is it. Oh my God. Oh my God. We'll be all right. We'll be all right.
I haven't seen all that, actually. It's really unbelievable.
All right, we're going to have to move this way. We're going to have to move. We're going to have to move. That cloud is coming this way.
The profile of Manhattan has been changed. There's been a declaration of war by terrorists on the United States.
I designed this house so that these windows would look, it's a little hazy today, would look right at the World Trade Center. So every day I wake up, and every day I look downriver, and every day I see that huge cavity, that huge gap in the New York skyline, and every day I get angry all over again.
Everybody has their own experience, but I don't think that I could even begin to understand what it meant to the families of people in the building and on the planes and the firefighters and the police officers and the emergency workers and all the people and sacrifices they made.
America was targeted for attack because we're the brightest beacon for freedom and opportunity in the world. And no one will keep that light from shining.
None of us have ever experienced anything like it before, and God willing, we never will again.
And tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after that, and in days and years to come, we will look at the calendar and remember September 11th, 2001.
A day that everyone will remember where they were when they heard the news.
shockwaves everywhere. When we come back, how 9/11 sent shockwaves all over Hollywood. The face of film changed, and Hollywood changed the way it entertained the country. That's next.
Access Hollywood is brought to you by Walmart. Walmart has your favorite action, family, and comedy videos and DVDs at everyday low prices.
I love action movies.
You want to be there. They put you in another world.
Walmart has a great selection of action movies. We got Hollywood's great movies at Walmart's low prices. Unforgiven.
Pelican Brief.
Goodfellas.
I like Lethal Weapon. When he jumped off the building, I like to do that.
The Cowboy.
Fugitive.
The Matrix. Kung Fu.
Slave. I like Twister.
We got cows.
We have great movies on video and DVD. We have a lot of good ones here. And everything's at everyday low prices.
For great movies, Walmart's the ticket.
Which plate is stronger? Hey, that's the meatball. Oh boy, there it goes. Oh no, not the shoe. Dixie is stronger than Chinette. Dixie, any tougher and it wouldn't be disposable.
Uncle Ben's Natural Select Garlic Butter. Let the experience begin with pure natural flavor like fragrant garlic and creamy butter. Uncle Ben's Natural Select Rice.
I'm Toby Keith.
I'm Elf.
I'm a musician with a very busy schedule.
I'm a couch potato.
I love down-home cooking.
I eat lint.
I make a lot of phone calls.
I don't make that many.
But we both use 10-10-220.
Yeah, there's no monthly commitment.
So you only pay for the calls that you make.
99 cents for all calls up to 20 minutes.
You said it, bud.
Dial 10-10-220, then 1 and the number. I can't find my keys. It's right here. No, my car keys. Oh, I'm trying to get out of here.
My new favorite color? Brown sugar number 62 from Garnier Nutri. More than a simple cream, it's a conditioning mask with fragrant fruit oil for rich, lasting colors and incredible softness. Garnier Nutri. Trust them. They're experts.
Why are people falling for Banquet Homestyle Bakes? Because it's one heavy box packed with tender chicken, savory vegetables, and a golden biscuit topping that makes one complete real meal. Banquet Homestyle Bakes. It's all you need to pick up.
New York is so unique and it's so beautiful on film, and, you know, it's so great to be in the shot and have the Empire State Building in the back.
That is Reese Witherspoon talking about her new film, Sweet Home Alabama. Nearly 6 weeks after the attack on the World Trade Center, Witherspoon's film was the first movie to start production in New York. But the events of 9/11 did more than slow movie production. It changed what we wanted and didn't want to see on film. The first effect of September 11th in Hollywood, film sets went dark all over the country. Those shooting on that tragic day shut down production. But one filmmaker and his stars felt work was the best distraction. M. Night Shyamalan's Signs, starring Mel Gibson, started production outside Philadelphia on September 13th.
We were all prepped and ready to go shoot a movie, and basically we could stand around and watch the TV, or we could do our jobs, and fortunately, you know, it was a really wonderful vessel for us to let go of our emotions that we were feeling about September 11th.
Immediately, studios realized a number of films that were scheduled for release had terrorist themes. Their fates were now uncertain.
Thanks for your advice.
Arnold Schwarzenegger's Collateral Damage is about a firefighter who battles terrorists. Warner Brothers pulled it from its October 5th release date, at the time, indefinitely.
Let's talk about Collateral Damage, because everybody saw the posters.
The first thing I thought of is that I cannot think right now about my movie. I can't do it. Because all I'm thinking about is what has happened in Washington and in New York, and about the, you know, the suffering.
I need a missile.
Missile very hard to get.
Tim Allen's comedy, Big Trouble, scheduled for release by Disney on September 21st, had a storyline about a bomb on an airplane. It was held until April 5th of this year.
I applaud anybody's efforts that honors the victims and honors the family. They got to respect the company that bows out of that, and they didn't blink an eye losing all that money.
There were also films already in the can that had to be reworked. An early trailer for Spider-Man had a giant web spun between the twin towers of the World Trade Center to trap bad guys in a helicopter. After September 11th, the scene was removed from the film. In Edward Burns' Sidewalks of New York, all shots of the Twin Towers were removed from advertising. Even Steven Spielberg, who was readying his classic E.T. for the 20th anniversary re-release, did some editing.
The only knee-jerk response to 9/11 was losing the word terrorist from E.T., talking about Mary saying, you know, you will not go out dressed as a terrorist. And now she says, you will not go out dressed as a hippie. I'm not sure people even remember the line, but I promise you, if I kept the line in, it would be a cause célèbre for more publicity about that one line post 9/11 than cutting it out.
And the people who knocked these buildings down will hear all of it soon.
After America went to war and patriotism grew, some studios stepped up the release of some war action films. Black Hawk Down and Behind Enemy Lines, both about America's armed forces, hit theaters as our real armed forces were hitting the ground in Afghanistan.
You think that this story couldn't be more timely?
Me as a viewer and not as a filmmaker, I would want to go see this picture because I would love to see how our special forces operate.
Black Hawk Down opened in December and grossed an incredible $109 million. Behind Enemy Lines, which opened a month earlier, had a decent $19 million opening weekend.
They killed my pilot because we took pictures of the graves, and I know where they are. I'm going to get them.
But the question is, should the story of that devastating September day ever be told on film? John Landau, the producer of the great disaster film Titanic, says no.
I don't know that this story will ever be told on film. I have no interest in going to see a movie about terrorists. I have no interest in being involved in a movie about terrorists.
And while no one may want to relive the accounts of September 11th, Hollywood is still responding to the aftermath. A new film called The Guys focuses on what happened after that devastating day. It's based on a play about an editor played by Sigourney Weaver, who helped a firefighter write eulogies for his fallen men. The movie will premiere at the Toronto Film Festival this Wednesday, the exact anniversary of the terrorist attack.
Sean, from film to television, when we come back here, we look at how September 11th affected the TV industry. Plus, should the networks re-air those devastating images of 9/11? That's next.
To get the hairstyle you want, Physique recommends a new styling tool, your computer. Go to www.physique.com for free samples today.
What's this?
It's a credit card. You have to open it up.
Introducing Discover to Go.
That's a crazy-looking credit card. Wow, look at that.
A great new way to carry your Discover card.
Wipe it through there and there we've got it.
It's a place for my keys. I love it.
It's new. I figured that one out, Frank.
Very futuristic.
Same account numbers, same cashback bonus program, but not like any credit card you've seen before.
Who can explain how simple pleasures, oh, mama, they get to you? Like Milky Way, somehow chocolate, caramel, and nougat melt in ways that reach you deep down. Milky Way, pleasure you can't measure.
Want to build monumental lashes? Get an Architect. New Lash Architect 3D Dramatic Mascara from L'Oreal. For thicker, longer, curvier lashes. False lashes, who needs them? New Lash Architect from L'Oreal Paris. Definitely not for the timid.
And now, Scrubs presents I Know What You Did Last Season. Last May, a year of secrets finally came to a head. On the Scrubs premiere, find out if Dr. Cox will forgive JD for sex with his ex.
Teddy, I've been a bad boy. Oh, Teddy. Oh, Teddy.
Will Carla forgive Kurt for sharing their intimate secrets? And what will Elliot do now that JD knows the truth about her? Find out on the premiere of Scrubs, Thursday, September 26th after Friends on NBC.
A dizzying array of information. With so many cable news channels, it's overwhelming. But only one network covers your local news 24 hours a day. Only one brings you Northwest weather every 15 minutes from the First Alert Weather Team. And only one covers breaking news anytime, anywhere in the Northwest. Your best choice. The one backed by the power of the Northwest top newsrooms. NWCN, Northwest Cable News, your local 24-hour news channel.
Come on, rise up. Come on, rise up.
Bruce Springsteen opened the telethon, a tribute to heroes, with a song he chose in response to 9/11. The telethon was just one of the ways television networks banded together during this time of crisis. Besides news coverage, what were our expectations from TV? Now we look back at the impact on television.
We have a breaking news story to tell you about. Apparently, a plane has just crashed into the World Trade Center.
The Today Show and other news shows immediately went into around-the-clock coverage. But other shows set to go live that morning from New York, Regis and Kelly and The View, simply shut down and sent their staffs home. Back in Hollywood, the Fox network instantly pulled the plug on promos for its cutting-edge new drama, 24. Ironically, the show was to deal with terrorism in its very first episode. The show's pilot, which opened with an airliner exploding, was also re-edited.
We took down the visual of the plane being blown up because we did not want to, for a second, cross into what people were perceiving to be and which was a terrible reality of that day.
NBC took a look at its schedule. Law & Order executive producer Dick Wolf was developing a spin-off miniseries called Terror. After the attacks, the entire 5-part show was scrapped. While one show was shutting down and another was ramping up, West Wing executive producer Aaron Sorkin decided to deal with the attacks head-on. A provocative special episode called Isaac and Ishmael.
Last year, your father made a contribution to something called the Holy Land Defender. Were you aware of the contribution?
Cast and crew put their emotions aside and worked around the clock to rush the episode to air, less than 3 weeks after the attack.
What did you think when you read that script for the first time?
I didn't know how we were going to get through it, frankly. I didn't know I was going to get through it because I was so hurt and furious. So furious.
One NBC series was even involved in the rescue effort. Emergency equipment used on Third Watch was given to New York rescue workers. As for the show, it dedicated 3 episodes to dealing with the attack.
Tonight, we're working with the White House.
Fox's America's Most Wanted even teamed up with law enforcement agencies to help track down terrorists, airing a special from the lawn of the White House.
These terrorists are behind many of the most heinous crimes committed against humanity over the past 20 years.
With America now at war, HBO decided to pull all its on-air and print advertising for Band of Brothers. Images of World War II were deemed inappropriate. However, the series itself aired as scheduled. On September 17th, Politically Incorrect aired its first episode, and Bill Maher immediately set off a firestorm of controversy.
We have been the cowards, lobbing cruise missiles from 2,000 miles away. That's cowardly.
That is a
Staying in the airplane when it hits the building. Say what you want about it, not cowardly.
Maher's comments cost him 2 major sponsors, Sears and Federal Express. Several ABC stations announced they would drop the show. The following night, Maher made an on-air apology.
In no way was I ever intending, because I never think this way, to say that the men and women who defend our nation in uniform are anything but courageous and valiant. And I apologize to anyone who took it the wrong way sincerely.
Despite a contrite Maher, even the White House joins the chorus of criticism. On September 26th, Press Secretary Ari Fleischer ripped into the host.
It's a terrible thing to say. And this is not a time for remarks like that. There never is.
ABC never officially blamed the controversy, but on May 14th, the network announced that Politically Incorrect was canceled. Despite the highly sensitive nature of the tragedy, the comedy Sex and the City dealt with the attack as part of life in New York.
Why don't you just fly?
Oh, no, flying makes me nervous. I get a little uneasy seeing the National Guard go through my makeup case.
Come on, rise up. Come on, rise up.
On September 21st, TV showed its unique ability to galvanize the nation. America, a tribute to heroes. It was an event never before seen in the history of the medium. All the major networks aired the show live. Stars from the world of film, TV, and music rallied together to help raise an astounding $150 million for the families of the victims. 59 million Americans tuned into that historic and moving telethon. It was also heard on 8,000 radio stations and carried on the internet. The day before that event, 82 million watched as President Bush addressed Congress about the war on terrorism. Sean.
In fact, the impact on TV continues now more than ever. With the impending one-year anniversary, many networks have struggled with whether or not the images of the planes hitting the towers should be replayed. Billy Bush is in New York with this story. Hi, Billy.
John, what transpired on September 11th, no one could possibly fathom then, and still now, no one will ever forget. But do we need to see it all over again to remember? Should the networks re-air those devastating images?
The terrorist act of war, unprecedented in our nation's history.
Look behind us, please, Pan, and afraid to be careful of your baby.
Terrorists hijacked at least 2 airliners.
Journalists and viewers alike will never forget the devastation of 9/11. Now, 1 year later, how will the media handle those graphic images?
It is not going to be a parade of that video through the course of 18 hours. We're smarter than that. It's easy to start the bleeding, the emotional bleeding again, and we need to be exquisitely sensitive to that on the 11th.
I think the great challenge on 9/11 is to make sure we just don't all go overboard. And the television has, as our critics sometimes say, has a way of, making things mockish. We don't want to do that.
All networks have decided to use constraint in re-airing the 9/11 attack video, especially the second plane hitting the towers. In fact, Fox News Channel will show that footage only once. Other outlets don't have set rules, but will observe guidelines. NBC will use extreme discretion. On CBS, they say it is incumbent upon us to show it, but won't go overboard. And on ABC, there will be judicious use of the footage.
I don't feel so strongly about these protocols we're establishing about how often we show what. It happens. That's the reality. What I do feel strongly is that we're able to say something enriching.
What viewers can expect is wall-to-wall media coverage. But as Newsweek magazine's Mark Pizer wonders, is all this 9/11 reporting too much too soon?
There is a danger that some of these networks will go too far. I think that you will probably get viewers who are going to be angry at what they've seen because anything is going to be too much for some people. And for other people, they feel it's essential that we not forget it. It's a very difficult line. The network's policy seems to be, if this is too much for you, change the channel.
So is a rehash of 9/11 what viewers want on a day many think of as a somber memorial? A recent study by the Journal of the American Medical Association finds that the more coverage viewers watched on 9/11 in the immediate days after, the more likely they were to be depressed. But some journalists believe to not revisit the tragedy in all its horror is wrong.
The site is cleaned up. The memory of it can fade very fast in your own working set of events. I think one of the things about, the retrospective will be a chance to look at those pictures again. I don't mean to wallow in it, but just to remind ourselves of the horror of those attacks.
The news outlets would say that this is too important a day to let pass. Those who forget history are condemned to repeat it. And they feel that if they feel their programming is responsible, and I'm sure that they do feel that it is responsible, there's no reason to not let people know what they're going to see.
To cover 9/11 last year, the media formed a united front, pooling both their footage and resources. This year, each has their own distinctive programming, but the ratings game is off for one night. The objective is not to woo viewers, but instead provide stories that educate.
You'll be easily recognized as different on 9/11 because we decided a long time ago we would do a full day's broadcasting. We began to work on it a long time ago, so we are extremely well prepared. We believe this is an important time to commemorate what happened to individuals. We also think it's a hugely important time to assess where the country has been in the last year. You know, what is the state of America 1 year after this act that made so many people in the country feel vulnerable? I think that's a real challenge for News Division. We've taken it very seriously.
Those are the images. Later on in the show, I'll bring you the impact that the devastating effect of September 11th had on Broadway. Did the curtain almost come to a permanent close? John, that's later.
All right, Billy, thank you very much. But coming up next, Time Magazine's painful process to complete its 9/11 tribute issue. We'll take you there.
Working to preserve this treasure we call Oregon takes thousands of dedicated volunteers. Hi, I'm Jack McGowan, and this is just one of the sites that volunteers are needed to help clean up and restore throughout Washington County. Come on out and celebrate our community by being part of this volunteer spirit. Join the Intel Solve Clean and Green Project on Saturday, September 14th from 9 to 1. Call Solve or log on to solve.org to find out about site locations. So volunteer now and be a part of this important project.
My friends always tell me I should go for the reliable type, practical. Do I ever listen? No. I always go for the fast ones, the crazy ones. If you're Italian with 2 bucket seats and no trunk space, I am all over you.
Looking for a car? Come to Cars.com. Find the right vehicle for you and the dealer that has it. Cars.com. Car shopping just got fun on KGW.com. NBC this fall, from the writer of Band of Brothers and Speed, comes a new drama unlike anything you've seen before. One crime, seen from every point of view. One crime, seen from every angle. All of them leading you to the truth. The most fascinating new drama of the season. Boomtown, coming to NBC Sundays this fall.
Congratulations! I bet you cut down your power consumption. Why? Because you switched to compact fluorescent bulbs. You microwave instead of using a regular oven. And you run your dishwasher only when it's full. Here you go. Well, what's wrong? Oh, I see. Well, it's never too late, you know. Are you doing your part to conserve? It's critical to a beautiful Oregon. We all watched the attack. On September 11th, News Channel 8 will look back and remember the year that changed our lives. Beginning at 4 a.m. with tributes and memorials from New York, Washington, and from sea to shining sea. Then at 7, News Channel 8 presents An Evening of Remembrance, live from Pioneer Courthouse Square. A day of comprehensive, thoughtful coverage on News Channel 8, where the news comes first.
Welcome back, everyone. With the anniversary of 9/11 approaching, everyone is working overtime to pay tribute to America's tragedy. For Time Magazine, its special issue has taken months to put together. Today, we look at the making of time. They are the images and stories that the editors of Time Magazine hope will demonstrate exactly how far America has come since September 11th. 6 months in the making, the weekly news magazine's September 11th issue rolled off the press this past week. At its centerpiece is what Time calls 11 Lives, stories on 11 very different people and where they find themselves a year after the terrorist attack. Executive editor Priscilla Payton says these stories should speak for and to all of us.
It's a way of making this event more understandable and human, and really try to show the extent to which it has affected a whole range of people. No, particularly conditions.
It was in editorial meetings like this one where the issues slowly came together.
This is just my first proposal, but it was...
Hundreds of photos were poured over, layouts were debated, and ultimately Nation editor Eric Cooley and assistant managing editor Janice Simpson helped develop the core concept of then and now.
We tried to respect what happened, to acknowledge what happened, and then to talk about where we are now.
We went through a bunch of different ideas, and this was the strongest that we could find.
Despite the emotional detachment with which many journalists often work, some Time magazine staffers found themselves overwhelmed by the subject matter. Even editors like Priscilla, who says the issue was unlike anything she's ever worked on.
I had several days when I found myself at the computer, in tears. And I didn't think that a year later I could be moved again that way.
Time magazine's September 11th double issue is on newsstands now.
When we come back here, we look at 9/11's profound impact on Broadway.
Whiskas knows how to get your cat's attention. New Whiskas Tender Bites, tiny morsels lightly coated in gravy. They're the smaller bites with a big taste. New Tender Bites from Whiskas.
This is Dixie Rinse and Reuse. These are some of its competitors. How do they hold up to heat and moisture? Well, you tell me. Dixie Rinse and Reuse. Any tougher and they wouldn't be disposable.
Available on Disney DVD and video. Bring home the movie critics are calling a real joy to watch.
Love that.
And an all-star lineup of dastardly Disney baddies. Mickey's House of Villains.
I've got a trick for Mickey Mouse.
All of Disney's greatest villains are together for the first time ever, and they're taking over the House of Mouse.
This is my house.
Get him, Mickey!
Own the fun-filled full-length adventure. Mickey's House of Villains. Bring it home on Disney DVD and video today.
Oops, my bad. Nothing brightens your day like a good breakfast. McDonald's.
My new favorite color? Brown sugar number 63 from Garnier Nutrice. More than a simple cream, it's a conditioning mask with fragrant fruit oil for rich, lasting color and incredible softness. Garnier Nutrice. Trust them. They're experts.
Simple pleasures. Who knows why they lift our spirits? Like Milky Way. Somehow caramel, chocolate, and nougat melt together into something irresistible. Milky Way. Pleasure you can't measure.
Welcome back. It's called The Great White Way. Hollywood may have the movies, but Broadway is the soul of New York. And on September 11th, that all changed. The hottest ticket in town disappeared. Could the city that never sleeps recover from tragedy, loss, and an economic tailspin?
No one in the Broadway community knew quite how to react or exactly how their livelihood would be affected when the smoke cleared after September 11th. Jed Bernstein, the president of the League of American Theaters and Producers, was afraid the lights might never be as bright.
Broadway was closed for 2 days. Attendance that week and grosses that week decreased by 85%. They only climbed back to about a 65% loss the next week. 5 shows closed in the impact of 9/11. Some of the longest-running hits, Les Mis and Phantom, were threatened. People didn't think they'd get through the winter.
With New Yorkers urged to go about their normal routines immediately after the attacks, theaters reopened on the 13th, and theatergoers had a new sense of purpose.
Going to a Broadway show became a patriotic act. It became an act of defiance. It became an act of, we are not afraid to gather in public. We are going to get back to living our lives normally.
At the time, Tom Selleck was starring in the show 1,000 Clowns and spoke for many when he explained why he felt the curtain wasn't rising too soon.
There's a larger signal to be sent, and I think that's what's most important. We're going to be up and running, and we're not going to be defeated by this.
All the shows played that night, I went to about 8 of them for a few minutes at each one. And in every case, the cast asked the audience to sing God Bless America at the conclusion.
While fans immediately appreciated Broadway's return, for many actors, working so soon after such a large tragedy felt improper. Louise Petra was gearing up for the October opening of the ABBA musical Mamma Mia and wasn't sure she was doing the right thing.
I have to be honest with you, running around with a singing into a deodorant dancing queen felt absolutely ludicrous and surreal. Rehearsal was, wow, you know, it was really a joke. Especially because of the material that it was, maybe. I don't know. I just felt stupid.
Ultimately, though, like many people, Louise found new inspiration by going out and buying a ticket. Her choice was 42nd Street.
I tell you, I cried through that whole opening. I clapped so hard at the end. My hands were killing me. But that is what definitely just catapulted me out of my deep depression.
Now, 1 year later, after a huge PR push, including star-studded commercials, theater attendance is down only fractionally from 2001, and judging by the fans' reactions, Broadway is enjoying one of its strongest and most emotional seasons in years.
We've had a lot of people come to the stage door since 9/11. They take your hand and they thank you like you've just done something incredible. I mean, you're just doing a show. However, you have just given me 2.5 hours of forgetfulness and joy. You have no idea how much I needed this.
Indeed. Give my regards to Broadway. Well, Mamma Mia will be one of the many shows dark on 9/11. In the meantime, the healing process continues with the theater community coming together for a very special tribute, Brave New World. Pat, back to you.
All right, Billy, thank you. Coming up here from Spielberg to country star Toby Keith, Hollywood remembers the day.
There's nothing better than watching a great family movie. Get a blanket, a pillow, pop some popcorn, and you're ready to go.
We got Hollywood's great movies at Walmart's low prices.
We have a lot of good ones here.
We got Goonies, Gremlins,
Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. We got Wizard of Oz, one of my favorite movies in the world.
Superman,
Batman, Scooby-Doo.
Mary
Kate and Ashley. Great movies on video and DVD at everyday low prices.
For great movies, Walmart's the ticket.
The Big Swiffer Max. Double the size so you can pick up and trap more dirt, dust, and hair in half the time. Swiffer Max.
Uncle Ben's Natural Select Garlic Butter. Let the experience begin with pure natural flavor like fragrant garlic and creamy butter. Uncle Ben's Natural Select Rice.
A touch of
When your skin is perfectly soft and perfectly fresh, it's perfectly comfortable. Lever 2000 Moisture Response with vitamin E. Its moisturizer goes where you need extra attention, so you can get the perfect clean for all your 2,000 parts. And now, try new Lever 2000 Moisture Response with aloe vera.
I've been in the family relationship for 4 years. She's been very good to me, I guess. Always did what I asked. But she's looking a little rusty. So I'd like to sell her for 10 grand.
Looking to sell your car? Come to Cars.com and sell it yourself. Make a custom ad that runs till it sells.
I'm willing to swap.
Cars.com. Car shopping just got fun on KGW.com.
NBC this fall, from the writer of Band of Brothers and Speed, comes a new drama unlike anything you've seen before. One crime, seen from every point of view. One crime, seen from every angle. All of them leading you to the truth. The most fascinating new drama of the season. Boomtown, coming to NBC Sundays this fall.
Welcome back to this special edition of Access Hollywood, remembering 9/11. Oscar winner Steven Spielberg, country singer Toby Keith, and CNN anchor Aaron Brown talk about how our nation's tragedy affected them in their own words.
It was unfathomable. I could not take it all in. It did not look real.
leave, and then the second one hits, and it removes all of them out. You know exactly what's going on.
My country was under attack, and that this was not going to be news, that this was going to be history, and that whatever else I did that day, I needed to be calm.
The news anchor, the Hollywood director, the country music star. The labels didn't mean anything on September 11th. They were, after all, just Americans. But as Aaron Brown sees it, he and his news colleagues were luckier than most that awful day.
In some ways, we had it easier. We had something to do. We had something to do. Most of the country could just sit and weep.
We are, you can still see now the smoke coming from that building.
When I saw the second plane hit live on, on the news on CNN, and when it hit live, in a second I knew it was a real big attack. Our country was under attack. And it was, don't tell the kids, it's just not, you go to school next week. Let's see where this goes.
United Airlines Flight 93, bound from Newark, New Jersey to San Francisco, went down in a field.
I got a little bit of a lot of hope when I seen the American spirit stand up and them boys brought that plane down. It's just like, I just shoved my fist in the air and probably cussed out loud. It was just a moment of glory. I just felt like, hey.
I want to just keep hugging my children and keep them safe. I always did, but now more than ever.
There was a moment where a producer said to me that CNN had learned that the city was looking for, the city of New York was looking for 20,000 body bags. And I made a decision in an instant, in the way you do in those moments, I guess, that is not a number I was going to put on the air. But I felt nauseous when I heard that number. It is such a huge number. And that the city was preparing for that was the single most sickening moment that I can ever remember in 53 years of life.
Brown says he still hasn't watched any news footage from September 11th, preferring instead to look ahead and continue working.
I'm a storyteller. I had a little piece of an important historical moment. The people whose feelings matter are the people who work ground zero on their hands and knees for 10 months. The families for whom life will never be the same.
Now this nation that I love is falling under attack.
Toby Keith put his musical skills to work, penning a song that is powerful, passionate, and patriotic.
And the eagle will fly, and it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell.
I feel a tremendous bond to our fighting men and women that I've never felt before, and it makes me proud to think my dad would just, I know he's just smiling down hard right now, just going, way to go, man.
As for Steven Spielberg, the filmmaker says September 11th is an event that should be left to history, not Hollywood.
There never should be a film on 9/11. It should, we should look at it as the 21st century day of infamy. And now how do we prevent this from ever happening again?
And many of the photographs you've seen during our show are from an exhibit called Here is New York, which has been turned into a new book. The book contains 1,000 images related to September 11th. For more information on Here is New York, log on to accesshollywood.com on MSN.
Coming up, David Letterman's emotional return to the airwaves after 9/11. Our moment is next.
It happens all the time. Your safety is at risk. When you care about the safety and security of your home, turn to KeySafe by GE. KeySafe is easy to install, and the thick metal wall will never rust or deform. Change the combination at any time. Enter code. Get keys. Open door. KeySafe, the original since 1965. Available at the key machine of your local hardware store or home improvement center. GE, we bring good things to life. Do your previous moving adventures remind you of a bad movie? Don't take chances with your most cherished possessions. Call the family that's made moving their business. Make All My Sons Moving and Storage your #1 mover. No move is too large, no move is too far. And if you need storage, discover why All My Sons sets the standard with their climate-controlled state-of-the-art storage facility featuring containerized packaging of all inventory. All My Sons Moving and Storage. Modern moving with old-fashioned care.
You know, this is really silly, but I'm married to your daughter for 2 months now, and I still don't know what to call you. Obviously, I can't call you father-in-law, so how about Dad? Pop? Vic? Victor? Mr. V-Man? Mr. Man who's watching a game and probably wants me to shut up.
Yeah, we'll go with that one.
In line, NBC Tuesdays this fall.
New from KGW.com comes My Specials Direct, a personal shopping service that sends you exclusive offers, discounts, and specials that you won't find anywhere else. If you're looking for savings on travel, entertainment, sports, music, home electronics, or anything else, go to KGW.com and sign up for My Specials Direct and start receiving exclusive deals designed especially for you. My Specials Direct, bringing you the most exclusive deals in town.
Don't you just hate deadlines? Yeah, but here's one you don't want to miss. Voting for our Northwest Backroads Great Escape Viewers Poll ends September 10th. It's not a deadline, as much as it is a chance to tell the Northwest about all the terrific places we like to call Great Escape. And by voting at KGW.com, you'll automatically be entered to win a 2002 Mercury Mountaineer. So don't think of it as a deadline. Think of it as a, well, I guess it is kind of a deadline.
Closed captioning and other considerations for Access Hollywood provided by
Victoria's Secret would like to announce that the new angels have arrived. The new angels collection, only at Victoria's Secret.
Want to build monumental lashes? Get an Architect. New Lash Architect 3D Dramatic Mascara from L'Oreal. For thicker, longer, curvier lashes. False lashes, who needs them? New Lash Architect from L'Oreal Paris. Definitely not for the timid.
Put some bounce in your boxers.
Put your boxers on, one arm at a time.
I love to wear my boxers on my head.
Welcome back. In the days following September 11th, the focus and tone of television understandably changed. In today's moment, we look back at the first night David Letterman returned to the airwaves after the tragedy. There was no sharp-tongued monologue, no laugh. For more than 8 minutes, Dave spoke from here.
It's terribly sad here in New York City. We've lost 5,000 fellow New Yorkers, and you can feel it. You can feel it. You can see it. It's terribly sad. And the phrase New York's finest and New York's bravest, you know, did it mean anything to us personally, firsthand? Well, maybe, hopefully, but probably not. But boy, it means something now, doesn't it? They put themselves in harm's way to protect people like us. And the men and women from the firefighters and the police department who are lost are going to be missed by this city for a very, very long time. And it's very simple. There is only one requirement for any of us, and that is to be courageous. Because courage, as you might know, defines all other human behavior. If you didn't believe it before, and it's easy to understand how you might have been skeptical on this point. If you didn't believe it before, you can absolutely believe it now. New York City is the greatest city in the world.
That's going to do it for us. Bye-bye.
How many times have you said to somebody this week, how...